My name is Taki. I'm so happy to be in your faces. Again, I will back for the media edition of Gospel Life News, where we'll bring you guys all the updates regarding music and the guys that makes the beats. Trust me when I say this. This is one of the best places you can be if you want to know about your fave and how they've been coping in the Afrobeat space. And I'm here to give you guys the report of some guys. Today we have Davido, Burna Boy, and Wizkid on the news. Wizkid deliberately threw Nigerian ladies into disarray when videos of him dancing actually got out for who God knows how it came out. It's not where the video came out, and surprisingly, a part of Wicked body was just outside, just there. The giant ladies could not cease but notice that part of Wicked. All of this, I will bring them to you. At the same time, Davido replied a troll over the 300 million he promised to give to charity. Recall that the money came out of his own will, not compulsion, not force. It wasn't coerced to do that. He deliberately wanted to give out the money, and then we saw what he found. Obviously, would have prompted him or pushed him to come out and show evidence, of which he has shown, where he transferred the sum of 306 million naira to the foundation account. So the money is ready for disbursement. At the same time, we saw we have Burna Boy on the news with he has an interview, and then he came out to say a whole lot on the interview. At the same time, his numbers are also rapidly increasing. The news is buzzing, like I said. With what you read, you are sure to know that the news is hot. And then I want to say a big thank you to our fans for doing what you guys do. We love you guys so much. Thank you for your love, your energy, your consistency, your time. It means a whole lot to us. Same thing, I want to implore you guys to please put on your notification button so you'll be the first person to know whenever we drop a video or a post or a content. The news, like I always say, is hot. And if you want to join on this one, you can just stream us live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. That is the only place you can be and watch us live. Let's go straight to what the news look like. We'll begin the news properly with Davido. We saw one of the fans coming out to say, "This dude remind me of that movie, She Must Be Obeyed," and try to paint a picture of a man who is lying. And Davido previously just said, "Foundation account credited. More details to follow soon." And then we saw what the balance looked like. Davido has transferred the sum of 306 million 420,000 naira to the account, and we showed now that the money is ready for disbursement. But by the way, this is just a plea to all fans here. Whenever an artist wants to do something out of his own willingness, it's cool you just keep quiet rather than make him regret his action or what he has done. And we just hope you guys can fix this, because these guys are really doing a lot for the economy. And moving on, we saw it was the turn of Peruzzi today to receive the back and forth from the fans. We saw where a fan actually came out to edit a post from Peruzzi and then edited it to make it look like a different post. And the edited post goes thus. He said, "We used to be so close, but because you yes say I did pipe your wife, you start to give me attitude. I don't leave your Sekusha, ungrateful nigga. Like say, if I don't write your song before blow." Now, this tweet came out under Peruzzi's name, looking as though Peruzzi tweeted this, but apparently it was an edited tweet from somebody who is good with edits, and then we saw where it edited the back and forth, made it look like Peruzzi had the tweet. And the backstory of this is quite long, because there was a time where we had report that it was trending everywhere that Peruzzi slept with Choma. It became a trendy thingy. Though he has come up on the podcast to clear that air, saying he did not do it, it was surprised it came forth, but he did not really at any point do it. And then he said, even when it was buzzing, Davido never spoke to him about it. Davido never asked him and said, "Peruzzi, did you do it or did you not do it?" Because Davido also knew it was all lies. And then this tweet is coming out, and it's with all of the backstory, it's making it look like it was true, but then it is an edited tweet. Responding to this, we saw Peruzzi coming out to quote the tweet where he said, "Your own go bad, gone." And at this point, it was about to get heated up after this conversation. We saw where he came out to say, "The only way you go graduate now if na editing and twerking you study." Okay, so what he said was, the only way you go graduate now if na editing and twerking you study for that school where you dey go. Better tell your family say you don't stain father white, because you no go escape this one. Now, this look like a threat. Peruzzi wrote to the person saying the only way he was going to graduate is if he studied editing and tweaking, because if none of these are what you're studying, you're not going to graduate. So tell your parents you have stained a father's white. And at the time, we saw people come now to feel sorry for the person who did this, because this actually was going to serve as a deterrent to others who are in the business of editing stuff on Twitter to make it look like the artist or somebody did it. And we saw Peruzzi come now to calm all his fans down, saying, Elo fokombale wahala ma shele. So basically, he's telling his fans to go calm down because problem is coming, and it's coming very, very fast. He also came out to say, you sabi edit abi, you go edit for me well, no worry. So at this point, you could just tell that Peruzzi was furious about this. I mean, other times Peruzzi have always let it slide, but this one, he wanted to make sure the person feels the heat, because he has come out to say, you sabi edit abi, don't worry, you go edit for me. And it is just messy from here. We saw where he came out to also insult the person and them using foul languages and insulting the person's father. And that is how much of pain Peruzzi felt when that one came out, because it actually had the whole angles of, the whole thing. You might want to think Peruzzi tweeted that with a verified page, verified handle, his name correctly spelled, and the back and forth. It really was messy, but we just hope that all of these are handled amicably so that we don't have casualties and miss anybody. Moving away from Davido and Peruzzi, let's see what Burna Boy is doing. In terms of numbers, we saw Burna Boy alone have just surpassed 30 million audio streams on YouTube across all uploads. Both the audio and video have just surpassed 30 million streams on YouTube. Still talking about numbers, we saw Burna Boy sitting on top of the world have also surpassed 40 million streams on Spotify. Amazing numbers, amazing backup figures. Burna Boy is really doing good numbers on Spotify and YouTube. Just so you know, this one has just done 40 million streams on Spotify. Moving on, we saw Fino and Burna Boy Duai Remix have just surpassed 9 million streams on Spotify. For last week, this single was doing about 5 million, but then in less than 4 days, it has just added about 4 million streams to make it about 9 million as of today. Massive one. Regardless, it's just a good one. Trust me, 4 million streams in 4 days or 5 days is really not getting to it. Also, considering the fact that you have other song people will need to stream, so it means 4 million of your fans really face to listen to one part of your song, and that is what only an ODG or Dogu can pull off in 4 days. Talking about Burna Boy, we saw Burna Boy speaking with the Financial Times magazine, and this time he came out to speak a whole lot. Now, from one of the contents of what he said, in context, he said, my music has always been rooted in my desire to tell authentic, unfiltered stories about life in Port Harcourt and everywhere else I have lived. This was coming from Burna Boy. For details, I'm going there shortly. We saw where he came out to say, I've been able to showcase the rich and diverse sounds of Africa with vibes that my generation can relate to, says the 10-time Grammy nominee. I am particularly proud of how my career has encouraged collaborations between African artists across generations. While Ogulio has collaborated with pop stars including Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber, Lily Allen across his 7 albums, he has also worked with fellow Africans like Angelique Kidjo and Wizkid, as he says. The unity has not only elevated individual careers, but has also given rise to a collective African music movement that is impossible to ignore. Burna Boy still speaking says, I was just being myself, yet I was answering my calls regardless of the dictate of the market. My music has always been rooted in my desire to tell authentic, unfiltered stories about life in Port Harcourt and everywhere else I have lived. The Burna Boy discography moved from contemplating dating and breakup and last a city boy to describing the reality of living in Africa. We have been through and are going through so much that it's impossible to have nothing to sing about, Burna Boy says. Still on Burna Boy, we saw where this is like a publication. Africa Giants established Burna Boy on the global stage. His 4th album, which would garner him a first Grammy nominations for the Best World Music Album, was a critical success. Praised for his cohesiveness, even as it melded in genres and sound. The fusion has always been part of Ogolu's goal. It would be naive to reduce him to Afrobeats. Even that genre sources has driven the interest in Nigerian and African music between 2017 and 2022. There was a 550% increase in Afrobeat song stream on Spotify. I foresee a future where cross-pollination of styles will result in groundbreaking fusions which defy traditional music boundaries. Burna Boy says that. We also saw where he came out and said the next step is redefining the global music landscape. Burna Boy says, I aim to create music that not only resonates with fans but challenges their perception of what African music can be. As he points out, it was also okay. As he points out, it was also nominated in the melodic rap category at the Grammy alongside stalwarts such as Drake, Doja Cat, and SZA. It signifies being recognized as part of a different genre than the ones we are used to. This is groundbreaking. Truth be told, Burna Boy left the normal contemporary spaces we're used to, the best global album performance, best this, best that. He went on to be nominated alongside great guns like Drake, SZA, Doja Cat, and miss other great artists for the best melodic rap performance at the Grammy. That is how much of greatness Odobo has been so far. Moving on, we have Wizkid as the next guy on the news. We saw chat data coming out to confirm that One Dance by Drake, where he featured Wizkid and Kyla, has now surpassed 3 billion streams on Spotify. It is the seventh song to reach this milestone. And then while that is still buzzing, we saw Drake talking about the headmaster himself, came out to add this on his Instagram story where he said, One Dance is officially your first 3 billion single stream. Yes, the seventh ever on the platform on Spotify. I remember walking into Sota and your chalkboard with the working track list for views. There was a song called I Powered. I asked which it was, and you said it is an 85 beat I haven't recorded yet, but it is the single and it is gone. But regardless, this is Drake's first 3 billion stream on Spotify, and fortunately, we have a Wizkid on it who is doing massive numbers at the time. Having 3 billion stream on Spotify really is a major achievement. Rema has done about 1 billion plus, but then Wizkid on a song he was on has just done 3 billion stream on Spotify. Moving on, we saw Wizkid buying his team members set of Rolex wristwatches for all his team members. Massive one to Wizkid for that one. Now, this is how you spend your money. Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy are known for all of this, gifting people wristwatches, Rolex. Davido is one person who we all know. For Chama's birthday, he got a Patek wristwatch. On his cousin's birthday, Nike, he got a watch, and they are just known for actually getting everybody around them a watch. Wizkid has just joined the trend now for getting every of his team members a Rolex wristwatch just to appreciate them and to show, to thank them for the love they have shown so far on his recovery to his mom. Still on Wizkid, we saw Jada P talking about Wizkid manager, obviously also the baby mama. We saw where she was seen vibing to Wizkid One Love off the Bob Marley inspired song to make a movie. Amazing song, trust me. One Love is one that Wizkid did. A lot of people want to come out and say the song really has no element of originality because all Wizkid did was to repeat what Bob Marley did at the time. But regardless, it is an amazing one, doing obviously massive numbers. And his manager, Jada P, could not contain her joy when she was dancing and vibing to the one they called One Dance. To the one they called One Love with Wizkid at the time. Moving on, we saw Wizkid dancing and vibing, and this video is making the rounds everywhere. We saw Wizkid dancing to a song, and then the pants he wore, like the sweatpants thing he wore, we saw a private part almost coming out, protruding out of it, and Nigerian female would not cease but notice the fact that Wizkid had a wardrobe malfunction, and then the comments were wow. A lot of people came out to say this is why Jada could not live in, this is that. Like the comments were wow. But regardless, this was Wizkid catching fun, having cruise, enjoying his moment. But then there was a slight wardrobe malfunction. And Nigerians obviously would notice every details in the picture. It came out in the numbers in the comment section. What is Wizkid? He cares less because he is doing good numbers. He's in the UK and is making amazing, he's having an amazing time of his life. He's preparing for new stuff. And this might just not be a conversation for him to attend to. My name is Daki. We'll catch you guys on the very, very next one. Stay safe, guys, and be careful.